It has to be near sold out crowd, as you can see, absolutely electric. Great fights, and you saw some of those big fights, some of those results, some of the stars that were in the house. That's what we expected, and I would say it exceeded our expectations. With that being said, we're going to be taking questions, but let's get things started here with the founder and the president, David Feldman.
All right, thank you, guys. Again, as I said earlier, Knucklemania IV is in the books. It was a great night of fights, some unfortunate injuries, some very, very unbelievable finishes, great crowd, enthusiastic, great announcements, just an all-in-all great night to wrap up our debut here in the great state of California, Los Angeles. What a fucking night. We did a little bit over 7,100 in attendance. From what we're finding out now, our viewership numbers are the most views we've ever had on any fight ever in history for BKFC. So this was a really good night for us. We're over 12 million live viewers worldwide. So that was a phenomenal night for us. Fight of the night is David Diaz versus Shane Jordan. I thought they all let it hang out, and it was just an unbelievable fight. We have about, I think I marked down 12 bonuses we're given tonight. I'm not going to announce every one of them, but I think we marked down an additional 12 bonuses because I told the guys in the locker room, it's our debut in California. You got to go out there and fight your asses off, and these guys went out there and they fought their asses off, and they're going to get paid for it. Knockout of the night is one of my favorite boxers of all time, El Perro. Alfredo Angulo. I mean, this guy, first time there, Jeremiah Riggs swarmed him, grabbed him by the back of his hair, and was hitting him. And Alfredo Angulo came back with a devastating knockout, a viral knockout, and I'm happy for him. It was just a great night for us, man. I'm very, very happy about being here in Los Angeles, and obviously we had a major announcement tonight too. We accepted or entered into an agreement with a very large combat sports enthusiast, Conor McGregor. He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now. All right, guys. You want to handle questions, Brian?
Yeah. Put your hand up if you have a question. I'll come over to you. I'll give you the mic. Media, I'm coming to you. It's jam-packed with media here. Let's go to you first, sir.
Dave, congratulations on a successful event. Before I ask about some other things, let's just talk about this event tonight. You know, when BKFC started 5-6 years ago, I believe it was, to get to California, I'm sure was something that, you know, was a big goal of yours to get into this market. So now that it's happened, can you just put into perspective what that means to you and to this company?
I mean, it's like in life, right? You want to get somewhere in life and you got to break down barriers. And we broke down barriers. We hit speed bumps. We hit dead ends. And, you know, a lot of people didn't really want us to succeed. So we had to try even harder and do things even better than we were supposed to do them. And we did that. We did it that way, and we put on great fights, and we made sure the fighters were safe, and we did everything we were supposed to do. And California finally accepted us, and it was a big, big step in the regulatory movement for BKFC. And it's just, I'm so happy to be here. The commission was just unbelievable to deal with. Very, very happy to be here in California.
Mike Perry has clearly established himself as your biggest face, you know, your biggest name, your biggest star. He's had quite the resurgence in his post-UFC career with you. Can you just talk about what it means to have him on your roster and what he's bringing in terms of attention and eyeballs?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, when you enter into a partnership, it has to work for both sides, right? Mike Perry was at the end of his UFC run. He wasn't doing great in UFC. I saw that people liked him and they were talking about him, so we brought him over here and we gave him an opportunity in bare knuckle. And he took advantage of it and made the most of it, and he's the king of violence. I mean, he is now the face of BKFC, absolutely, and probably one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in BKFC. The guy, he's very confident. And when you're confident, it's really, really hard to stop you. You just go out there and do what you have to do, and you're not worried about what the other guy's going to do. And when you do that, you're a very, very dangerous person.
And continuing with Perry here, afterwards, he's going ballistic in the cage. He's yelling, screaming at the top of his lungs. He's directing some of that towards you because he wants title shot. What are your thoughts on that?
Bring it on. He can have that title shot if he wants it. I think that Dave Mundell, who has been fighting for us, who has been calling out Mike Perry, I think he deserves it. I'm not 100% sure that's next, but I think it's something that the both guys are asking for, and if they're asking for it and the fans want to see it, let's give it to them.
Okay. All right. Then I want to ask about Conor McGregor. It's a very exciting time, obviously, for the company and partnering up with Conor McGregor. How exactly, or give an idea of what do you think will change now with him in the mix? How does this, how does it look moving forward with him now?
I mean, you got the guy who has the most downloaded or most viewed movie in Amazon history, right? I mean, it wasn't because of his acting. Not that he was bad at acting, but it wasn't because of his acting. It was because it was Conor McGregor. It wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal that drove those views. It was Conor McGregor that drove those views. He's one of the most popular guys in the entire world. He's one of the most popular or influential combat sports fighters of all time, or personalities of all time. I mean, you tell me. You get a guy like that who anything he touches turns to gold. I want that Midas touch for us, so we brought it over.
Go.
David, congratulations on the big event. Huge history in the making. Staying on the same subject of Conor McGregor, how did those conversations start?
He came to our event. Actually, in 2 days, it'll be a year in Denver. He jumped in the ring. He called out Mike Perry, in fun. And one thing led to another. We partnered with his beer, Forged Irish Stout, and they became a sponsor of us. And, he fell in love with this. I mean, we had some unbelievable conversations, some great ideas already exchanging. It was funny. I was telling my wife, I was dying for Conor McGregor to call me. Now the guy won't stop calling me. It's unbelievable. He is so excited about this thing. I really think it completely takes it to the next level.
Do you think that with Conor being now a partial owner in the BKFC organization, do you think Dana White is punching air right now?
Listen, Dana White has a juggernaut with the UFC. I mean, Conor McGregor certainly moves the needle for him, but he's very, very successful without him. So I'm not that he's fighting for us. I'm saying, but as him promoting our product, who knows, right? I mean, you're probably a little mad. Your number one star is going to talk about a different company, so you're probably not very happy about it. But he's not worried about us. Not yet.
Yeah. David, Tylen with the Weekly Bus. I just want to congratulate you for showing up in LA and performing the way you guys did. Your guys' production looked incredible, first and foremost. My question for you going into this is that you've had a lot of excitement throughout the night, and one of those excitement draws is that you had Taylor Holder and Bryce Hall exchange some words mid-show, and they did throw down. Do you have any details or any word on that?
I mean, those things happen. I didn't know it was going to happen. Unfortunately, it trickled over into something else, and it's not the kind of thing that we really want to do here. But look, if those guys want to take the gloves off and bang it out, we're all for it.
Yes, sir. And then with Lorenzo's fight, Lorenzo is probably one of the biggest draws of BKFC and was perhaps looked at as the GOAT until tonight's misfortune for him. But going into this fight, we expected a really, really, really big war to go down. Can you explain what happened to the fans who doesn't quite understand, who didn't know or didn't see what happened, happened with Lorenzo Hunt?
Absolutely. Look, Lorenzo always comes to fight, as he did. He came to fight. He got cracked, I think it was with an uppercut, and he got dropped. And when he got dropped, he hit his arm on the floor, and his elbow popped out. I mean, I saw the elbow. Actually, the bone of the elbow was out. So, I didn't question that at all. And, the guy always comes. He has heart, and he always comes to fight. And he came to fight tonight, an unfortunate, accident.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on Mick Terrell, not only tonight with the knockout,
but all week, because Lorenzo's a guy that's been known to get in everybody's head, and we see it play into the fight. Some guys don't show up on fight night because of the antics during the week. Mick was calm. Lorenzo was sitting in his seat at one point. I think he pushed him in his head. Mick didn't do anything. He didn't retaliate. He went in there. He handled business tonight. So I just want to get your thoughts on Mick Terrell.
I mean, Mick was just calm, cool, and collective. Very, very classy. You know, always been classy. Came out to a classy song. He's just a classy guy. He doesn't let that affect him, and you saw it in the fight. He wasn't, you know, too concerned about anything, and he went out there and finished the job.
And then as far as Lorenzo Hunt goes, would you recommend that he drops back down, or would you entertain him still fighting at heavyweight?
Yeah, I think I definitely think he should stay at 205. I think that's his weight right now. Not that, you know, he didn't perform tonight. I mean, he did. He came out. He fought. He did what he had to do. But I think he's not tall enough for that weight division. And I think that extra muscle that he added on, I don't think it was great for him.
And then as far as the heavyweight title goes now, are we looking at Ben Rothwell? I've heard rumors that Mark Hunt might be throwing his name in there as well. How does the heavyweight picture look right now?
I don't think the Ben wants to fight for the championship. I'm looking at him now. Yeah, look, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, you got a guy, Ben Rothwell, who supports the hell out of the company. You got another guy, Mick Terrell, who's very good to the company as well. They both came off good wins. You know, they're both on a very good streak, and I think it's a collision course, so I think that's what's next.
Dave over here. Want to ask, you know, obviously getting to California was a big one. I mean, what is the next hurdle for BKFC as you guys keep growing, just new markets and everywhere else that you guys want to bring the show?
I mean, it's the same old, still just breaking perception. You know, it's a perception play, and people think that it's way more brutal than anything else out there. And when we provide the data, they know that we don't have as many injuries as the other combat sports. So I think it's just breaking perception and keep knocking, kicking open doors. I mean, that's what we do. We just kick open doors.
You talked about, you know, with California, all the regulations. Have you gotten any feedback on what they liked about the show and how everything was handled out there in the ring tonight?
I think they were very, very happy. I think there was one or two small little incidents, and you know, it's a learning process dealing with a different commission every time. I think they were happy. All the commissioners told me it was a phenomenal event, and they're happy to have us and happy to have us back. So, you know, I think the fighters came out and they performed. We drew a good crowd. It was an exciting event. So why wouldn't you want us back?
Hey, Dave, tonight you had Alfredo Angulo, Daniel Alvarez, and David Diaz all showing out. Mexican fighters, Southern California, really did their thing out there. What do you have to say about those three fighters?
Viva Mexico.
For David Diaz, it was a draw with Shane Jordan. Is that something that you guys would entertain a run back?
Would love to run that one back. Look, I don't know if you guys missed the announcement, but we're launching in Mexico on May 25th on TV Azteca, the second largest TV company in Mexico. It's truly going to be an unbelievable partnership. They told me when I was down there for the press conference on Tuesday that they want to make this the biggest sport in all of Mexico. So we have a lot of power behind us. We're going to put on a hell of a show there in May. And look, man, Mexican fighters, they come to fight. Look what Alfredo Angulo did tonight. I mean, unbelievable.
That is my last question is about Alfredo Angulo. You said he's one of your favorite boxers of all time. He came in here. He had the devastating knockout tonight. Do you have any immediate plans or ideas that what you want to do next for him?
Look, when the boxers come over, I'm always a little concerned because they're used to getting hit with gloves, obviously, right? And this is bare knuckle, and it's a little different. And I wanted to see what was going to happen when Alfredo Angulo got hit with a bare knuckle. And he ate it. And he threw right back, and he scored one of the most devastating knockouts we had all year so far.
Hey, boss, congratulations. It's truly incredible to see what you've built. I watched an interview you did in February with this podcast. I want to give them credit. I think it's called Tycoon Tales. And you talk about the year 2016 and how you were just at such a low point. And you had $262 to your name. You were diagnosed with cancer. And you just had a really bad day. And it could have gotten a lot worse. But you decided to take a video, just motivating yourself. How often do you still watch that video today as you're on top of the combat game?
I mean, you know, I never want to be in that spot again, and I want to be able to help people not be in that spot again. I watch it a lot. I mean, you know, it was a point in my life that I think, you know, when I was done with that video, I said, I'll never be in this fucking place again, and I'm going to the fucking top. And guess what? Motherfuckers, we're going to the fucking top.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! All right, David, so this is going to be the draw. This is the Weekly Bus, Thailand. Again, we want to bring up the King of Violence, Mike Perry. He's had a couple people that just seemed like they weren't up to par to maybe fight the King of Violence. There are a couple champions that are homegrown here that do want to bark and enter that tree of fighting him. Mike Perry seems to be the draw. We have two very large names in BKFC that are screaming for Mike Perry. One of those is Dave Mundell, and the other is a very, very, very challenging fighter, Luis Palomino. You know, what are your thoughts as far as entertaining Mike Perry versus one of your homegrown fighters like that?
I think it's good. I talked about it earlier with Mundell. Then Palomino threw his name in the hat. Palomino's going to have a fight in August, and he's going to fight a rematch with Austin Trout. He gets through that. I mean, definitely it would be very, very intriguing for us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey Dave, Jenny with Knuckle Hub here. Thank you for putting on such an amazing performance for us tonight. My question is, now that BKFC is just continuing to grow, what would you say to people who have doubted or had negative things to say about BKFC as a sport?
Fuck you.
Congratulations again on tonight's accomplishment. The big question that comes up is, what about a return to Los Angeles, and what are you going to do to help follow up this great show tonight?
So this was a very, very big week for us. Our parent company, Triller, has entered into a merger to become a public company, which means a lot of funding for us. So that was a huge, huge thing for us this week. And then we did this partnership with Conor McGregor. And then we put on one of our best shows we've ever put on. So this trifecta, I think, just moves us into an unbelievable position. Gets a lot of fighters that want to fight for us. I was sitting next to Nate Diaz tonight. He was watching the Perry fight with me, and he was like, this isn't what I thought. He was like, congratulations, it's unbelievable. And I'm like, Nate, let's go, baby, let's go. And he's got a fight ahead of him, but, you know, we'll see what happens. But look, more and more big names are coming here for a couple reasons. It's different. It's not as bad on the whole entire body, so they're concentrating on one craft. It's way more exciting than any fucking thing else out there. Way more exciting. And
Hell yeah.
And we treat the fighters like they're fucking family, and I think fighters need to be treated a little differently, and I think we do a great job of doing that.
All right, Dave, I think we have time for one or two more.
Levi from the Weekly Bust. So tonight, with being in Los Angeles, do you think that helps open the door to Las Vegas next?
I mean, they're all going to – it was like at the beginning, because, look, this room was filled with media, and I want to say thank you guys so much, because without you guys, we would be nothing. But I also want to say that when I started it, none of you people would talk to me. None of you guys talked to me. And I'm saying that for a reason, because eventually you have to cover it, right? It becomes exciting. We start making moves. We have big fights. We have everybody's talking about it, so you got to cover it. So eventually all these states are going to open up because they have to. They're not going to be able to say no soon. And we have a great product, and we put on a great show. And the most important thing for these states is we treat the fighters right, make sure that they're looked after safety-wise. We sell a lot of fucking tickets, and we get a lot of fucking views.
Fernando Pimentel, 210 Boxing TV. I wanted to know, you mentioned Austin Trout's about to have another rematch and a fight and everything. You love El Perro, Alfredo Angulo. Are there any other boxers that you are actually seeking to bring into BKFC, and at the same time, other former MMA fighters into BKFC as well?
Yeah, man, I mean, there's a slew of them. We have a lot of them. We're in talks with some of the biggest names in boxing. We're in talks with some of the biggest names in MMA, and I think the events that happened this week for us put us in a great position to pull that off now. So I'm not going to mention the names, but I'm telling you, yes, like in the next 3 months, there's going to be a sign-in spree here.
All right, last one for David Feldman.
Two-part question. Dave, yeah, just to follow up on my previous question, in that same interview, you also talked about how you never forget where you came from. How often do you reflect on the journey? How would you describe the journey? And with all that being said, how vindicated do you feel after all you've been through, seeing what you've built in this juggernaut?
You know, it's been a really tough journey. I mean, you know, I've been through a lot in my life, and you know, a lot. And to be here today, talking to all you people, when having that almost packed house out there, having all these people view it, biggest guy in combat sports wants to partner with me. He wants to partner with me. Some guy that started, listen, I started this in 2009 in warehouses with a guy I think that's in this room, Bobby Gunn. We started in fucking warehouses with 10 people there. And now we sold out this venue tonight. It's just a phenomenal feeling. I just say, don't let people tell you that you can't do something. You know, they only tell you they can't do something. You can't do something because they can't do it. So fuck them.
Were you ever close? Yeah. You went through so many trials and tribulations to get here, man. Honestly, though, was there ever a time where you were close to quitting on this dream?
Yesterday. Every fucking day I get close to quitting. Look, this is a tough journey. This is not easy. This is a roller coaster ride, and we're building something special. And when I sit back and look and I see what we're building, we keep driving. But I mean, this is not an easy ride.
Last one for me, boss. I came up from San Diego today. They love combat sports down there. They had Bellator 300 down there, one of the jiu-jitsu hubs of the world. Now that you're sanctioned in the state of California, when can you come to my hometown of San Diego, man?
We'll see. Look, we have actually an event. I can officially announce it now. We have an event July 12th at Pechanga Casino. Yeah, we're going to be there, and then we're going to go up to, in the fall, we're going to go up to Sacramento.